Hey guys, welcome to Alice and Anna. My name is Anna and today I'm going to be talking about the cultural differences between the UK and Mexico. So before I start the video, if you saw the last two videos we uploaded by Alice, she threw a lot of shade at me and I just want to put the record straight. I was not at the beach, but I was in the sun and with friends and in a pool, and I did have fun. I did not change pools as she said. It was in the same pool. And I also had to write an essay that was 2,000 words and I left it to the last minute because I apparently hate myself. So no, but in all honesty, thank you so much for uploading instead of me, Alice. We did love Alice's kitchen. Anyways, so off to the video. So I've been living in London for 2 years now. Right now I am in Mexico, but I do live in London full time. Since I moved, I've noticed a lot of things because I've had like several jobs in the UK and I also study there, and you know, social life is weird. So I figured I would make the differences between the UK and Mexico because I always see the difference between the UK and the US. So I thought this would be a fun video and I hope you enjoy. So the first difference that really shocked me was the drinking. And I'm not saying like, oh, we Mexicans don't drink, but that's exactly why I was so shocked. I think Mexicans are more of like social drinkers and like party drinkers, and we're great at drinking like heavy liquors and heavy like alcohol. So like we'll drink like tequila and mezcal and Bacardi and all of those things, and British people will drink mostly beer. British people, I love you. But drinking right after work is not normal. Like I swear to God, I would leave my office and it was like 6 p.m. and every single pub is full, and there's a pub in every corner. And it's Monday. After work, you go to drink. After this, you go to drink. Like after everything, you always drink, which I'm down for. But that really shocked me. I think British people definitely do win that round. The second thing that shocked me was the amount of like art involved. I mean, I do live in London, so that's like the melting pot of the UK and where all the events happen. But the accessibility to these events are outstanding. In Mexico, we do have like great theater and we have great concerts and all of that, but I think the quantity of those things is very limited. So like for every, let's say 5 shows here in Mexico, there's at least 35 in London. I've bought tickets for like £10 for plays, you know, which is nothing. And then there's also like the film festival and the BFI, and there's so many organizations going on about to like show people arts. And in Mexico, sadly, that's not always the case. There's not a lot of budget in arts, so like it's not part of my everyday life. So it really shocked me. I've enjoyed it so much because I go to so many concerts for so little money, and I really enjoy my time there. So you never really do have a dull moment in London, and I think that was a big rant, so sorry. The next thing that really confused me when I got to the UK was school, and by school I also mean uni. I had to do a foundation year, which I thought it was only for international students because apparently in the UK you study 13 years of school or something like that, and then here in Mexico and in the US and like basically I think all of America, the continent, you do 12 years and then you do 4 years of uni, and in the UK you do 3 years of uni. That I kind of understood. I was like, okay, awesome, that works fine. But then I still don't understand grades. Like here in Mexico, you just do like, you get an 87 out of 100. Sums it up, right? In the UK, it's like A's and B's and pluses and minuses, and there's like, it's a percentage. I don't know what the percentage is for each letter, but it's like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know what a pass is. I don't know if like everything is pass and F is fail, or if like a D is fail. I don't know. I genuinely don't. And like, and this is my second year studying there, so like I should know this by now. I just try to hope for like above B. So my next point is like work ethic, which also goes hand in hand with school, which is the previous point, is that people take a lot of breaks in the UK. Like in Mexico, people are very hardworking. So for me, kind of like to have to slow down because like there's a break or something is so weird. In uni, every single hour we have a break. Like in Mexico, that doesn't happen. In Mexico, if you're going to class from 12 till 2, you're gonna stay from 12 to 2 in your seat, and that's it. But it also applies to work because, I mean, I worked at an office and it was really funny. People would always be standing up for tea and then just drink their tea, eat their cookies, and then it was like they took 15 minutes of a break and they would do that at least 3 times a day plus their lunch. And in Mexico, you don't do that. In Mexico, you eat while you work if you're gonna do that, and you only take 1 break, which is your lunch break. I still don't get it. I am kind of getting used to it by now, but after 2 years, I still get annoyed at breaks sometimes. The next thing is also kind of like a work thing, which is customer service. In Mexico, customer service is incredible. We're so nice. Everything the customer says is the right thing. You know, we're just genuinely very, very overly friendly. I find that the UK is a lot more, it's a lot colder. It's not that they're not like nice or anything, but it's just we Mexican people are very warm. Not that I'm complaining they're not rude, because I know that different, like there's other countries that are famous for that. I'm not gonna shade any country. So customer service is a little bit different. Nothing too big though. Something that is really very, very, very different though is food. And I'm not just talking about spice. Our comfort foods are very different, and vegetables taste different, milk tastes different. Like, the ingredients themselves taste different. So when you cook the same thing, it's gonna taste different, of course. And I've already overused the word different, but it's true. Here in Mexico, we're a lot spicier, and we are not always thinking about what is the healthiest. We like greasy things, which is probably not better, but it is true. And I do miss my tacos. Like, I miss them so much. British things have no sugar. They have no sugar. Like, I would taste a cereal and I'd be like, what the hell is this? Like, this is so annoying. This doesn't taste right. So I started investigating, and apparently it's because of tax. In the UK, sugar tax is a lot higher. So they use a lot less sugar in their cereals and all their stuff so that they don't get taxed as high, which is good for health. But I mean, cereals suck. It's really sad. Another thing with food though is that in Mexico you have so many more options. We're very like consumerist or capitalist or whatever the name is, but we're very much like the US, where we love having options. So if you go to the grocery store, it's not only way smaller because you're in London and everything is smaller in London. It's not like barbecue sauce is not like typical here in Mexico, and it's not typical in the UK, but let's just say I'm looking for barbecue sauce. In Mexico, I'm gonna have at least 5 different brands. In the UK, you're gonna have 1, and if you go to like a fancy big supermarket, you might find another one. Everything is very limited, at least for me, because I love having 20 options. But chips, what a letdown. In the UK, they have like chicken thigh chips, which I don't understand. I don't know, they just have horrible, horrible flavors. And in Mexico, we have great ones. The next thing that really confused me, and it took me a while to understand, is bank holidays. In the UK, not all bank holidays have a reason for them. So like, I think there's the May one is called Early May Bank Holiday. And I'm just like, well, what is it for, you know? And everybody's like, it's just a bank holiday. And I'm like, well, okay. Like here in Mexico, it's because the Independence Day or the Day of the Constitution, like stuff like that. We don't really have just like, oh, just because it's May and it's, you know, we need a bank holiday now. So that was weird, and I still have no explanation on those. Another difference is the tea drinking. And I mean, the UK is famous for their teas. You know how humans are like 90% water? Yeah, well, British people are 90% British tea or something. I don't know the actual percentage, but you know what I mean. To the point where when you rent a place, there won't be a microwave, but there will be a kettle. Crazy. For me, that's crazy. The next thing is the passive aggressiveness. Mexicans are dramatic, you know what I mean? Like, if you have a problem with someone, you would probably either tell them or get someone to tell them. Like, it's just, we love drama. That's why telenovelas are like so dramatic. It's just part of our life. But in the UK, people are nice. People are polite. So they will do passive aggressiveness until there's no other option, which is hilarious if you like passive aggressiveness. Example, me. So it's not that they don't face problems, it's just that they don't love confrontation and like fights. So I mean, that's good. It's funny at least. Next thing I don't understand from the UK is royalty. We don't have royalty in Mexico. We have a democracy. Royalty for me is something that's like Disney movies, you know what I mean? And in the UK, they're so important. People love their royalty, which is so random. I don't understand it. I really don't. In Mexico, we hate our politicians and we make fun of them. And that's it. We don't have anything close to that, so I really don't know what it feels like to love your royalty or your government. Like the parade every single time it's her birthday, but I think it's not actually her birthday. I don't know. I'm very confused with royalty. The next difference is tipping. In the UK, there's not a lot of tipping going on, and if you do, you leave a very low percentage of what you actually paid for. We leave around 12 to 15% here in Mexico, and I understand that waiters and serving staff in the UK have like a minimum wage job, and like their salary is not that bad, and that's why. And in Mexico it's actually like really bad, so the tips are something that really helps these people. Now the next thing is transportation. Everything is so well connected. There's so many trains going all around the country in the UK, and they're pretty accessible, pretty cheap. You can get like season tickets, you can get rail tickets. It's so easy to use the rail system, and also the public transportation. Here in Mexico, public transportation is okay. Mexico City is a lot better than where I live, of course, but still not the greatest. Traveling from one city to the other is probably by bus because we don't have trains really. So I've had a lot of fun like actually getting to use a lot of the trains and getting to explore the UK. So that's fun. The next thing, Alice hates me for saying this so much, but what really gets on my nerves is that British people don't understand seasons, even though they are a country that has seasons. Like here in Mexico, yeah, we have seasons, but we have the same range of weather, it's very constant. In the UK, it's really funny because every season is very well established. Like, oh, it's summer, oh, it's winter. Like, it's visually represented and you feel it in the temperature. British people somehow always think there's a heat wave in the summer. It's always in July, August. It's always like 2 to 3 weeks long, and it's very hot. And they call them heat waves, when in reality, it's just summer. And then when it's cold, everybody's like, oh my God, it's freezing. This is so rare. But it's winter. Sometimes it will snow and everybody's like, what is this? And the whole city gets paralyzed. Like transportation gets shut down. 5 seconds of snow. I don't know, I find it really irritates me. It's like, how are you not prepared for this already? Still fun though to see British people confused over heat waves. Okay, and the last 3 things. People don't really love saying hi to neighbors and stuff. So when we first moved into our apartment building, we bought like chocolates for our neighbors, 1 for each, and we said hello and we just introduced ourselves. They were so confused. In Mexico, it's normal. If you move into the block, you always go to your next door neighbors and probably to the ones in front if you have some, and you just knock on their door and you give them like, I don't know, cookies, chocolates, something like that, and you say hi, like, this is my name, like, now you know me, whatever you need. And let me just say, our neighbors are amazing. They really put up with us and our parties, and they're like super nice and everything. But yeah, very different neighbor approaches in Mexico and in the UK. Another thing is tap water. In Mexico, tap water is not drinkable. In my brain, I'm like, what do you mean you can just open a tap in your bathroom and just drink water? Like, how cool is that? I love it. I really do. I 100% approve. That is incredible. And the very last thing is tiny bathrooms. I have never been to an establishment that has a big bathroom except Weatherspoons. Even uni has like tiny bathrooms. And in Mexico, I don't know, I feel like we maybe like a lot more having space. In the UK, you have to like squeeze into like the bathroom itself and then to the stalls, and then like everything is tiny. So like if you're in a pub or a restaurant or whatever, and especially if you're in central London, you always have to go downstairs, and their stairs are so tiny. And like, I'm not tall. I'm really not tall at all. British people are, so I don't understand how like they do this, but the stairs are so low, like the ceiling of the stairs is so low, so there's always like a watch your head kind of thing, and people have to like duck down and stuff. It's hilarious. I don't know, I find that very interesting. I mean, I guess it has to do with the fact that everything is so old. Anyways, that is the cultural differences that I have found while living there for 2 years. I mean, there's probably a lot more. We're all very different from one country to another, but I find those are the funniest and the ones that I still like every day think about. Right now, I've been in Mexico for 2 months or more, and I really am missing the UK. So, you know, if I complained about everything, I swear I still love it. It's still a fantastic time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and check out every Monday and Thursday for new videos. I never know how to end videos. This is so random. I'm sorry. And that is it. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.